Logan stepped off the transport shuttle and looked around the station. Aurora Ring was huge. Tall towers of metal and glass rose everywhere. Lights glowed in different colors. Aliens walked in every direction. Some were tall with long arms. Some were small with shiny skin. Logan felt a little nervous. He was far from home. He did not know anyone here. He only had a small bag and a job waiting for him. He needed a place to stay. Housing here was expensive. Logan had counted his credits over and over. He knew he could not spend much. He walked through the crowded corridors and stopped at a terminal. The screen flickered as he searched for rooms. Most were too expensive. He sighed. He almost gave up. Then he saw it. One listing stood out. Cheap, clean, near the transit core. He could not believe it. It seemed too good to be true. He hesitated. Cheap rooms sometimes had problems, but he was tired. He was tired of walking, tired of thinking. He pressed the confirmation button. It was his. The building was old. The outside walls were gray metal. Some panels were rusty. The corridors smelled faintly of oil and dust. Lights flickered sometimes. Logan frowned. He wondered if he made a mistake. He carried his bag up a narrow stairway. The steps creaked under his weight. He felt a little uneasy, but he told himself he was imagining things. When he reached the room, he put his hand on the door handle. It was warm from the station lights. He opened it slowly. The room was small. A bed was against the wall. A desk sat under a window. It was simple, but clean. He smiled. Maybe he got lucky after all. Then he noticed something. There was a bag on the desk. A jacket, hung on a hook. He froze. Someone else lived here. Logan stepped inside and looked around. The room was too small for two people. He thought. He felt awkward. Then, the door opened. A woman walked in. She was about 30, with dark hair tied back. She wore a simple jumpsuit. Her eyes were sharp, and she looked at him carefully. Logan felt nervous. He had not expected a woman roommate. He cleared his throat. Hi, I guess you're my roommate?" he said. She smiled slightly. "Yes. I'm Maya. I have been living here for a week." The listing said mixed occupancy. "I hope that is okay." Logan nodded. "Yeah, it's fine. I just didn't expect it." Maya did not seem upset or embarrassed. She moved around the room, placing her bag neatly on the small shelf. She took a seat on the bed and looked at him. Logan noticed she watched everything in the room carefully. Her movements were calm, precise. He tried to make small talk. "So, what do you do here on the station?" he asked. Maya tilted her head. "I work security consulting, mostly on station systems." She smiled briefly. "And you?" "Cargo hauling." "Not exciting," Logan said with a shrug. He felt shy. It was strange to talk to a stranger in a small room. They talked a little longer. Maya asked where he was from. Logan told her about his home city on Earth. Maya nodded and listened carefully. She asked questions that seemed normal, but Logan noticed she was precise, almost studying him. He wondered why. That night, Logan could not sleep well. The room felt smaller than before. He heard noises, faint scratching sounds from the wall behind his bed. He told himself, it was nothing, maybe old pipes, or rats. But the noise was too steady, too deliberate. He looked at Maya. She was already asleep, her small device on the desk glowing faintly. She moved her fingers over it quietly, scanning something on the screen. Logan stared at the wall. The scratching grew louder for a moment, then faded. He tried to sleep, but he kept listening. He wondered what kind of place he had come to. The next morning, Logan went out early. He wanted to see the station before work. Aurora Ring was alive with activity. Traders shouted prices. Lights moved across the skywalks. He walked through corridors filled with different smells, different sounds. Everywhere he looked, there were aliens. Some were beautiful, some were strange. He felt small, but he also felt excited. When he returned to the room, Maya was waiting with breakfast she had bought from a nearby stall. She had simple food: bread, fruit, and protein cubes. Logan thanked her. They ate quietly. Logan noticed she kept glancing at the door and window, as if she wanted to know who might come in or out. He asked again about her job. She smiled, a little mysterious. It is not very exciting. Just watching things. Making sure systems work. You will see station life is more dangerous than you think. Logan laughed. He thought she was joking, but he noticed the serious look in her eyes. He felt a small shiver. Days passed. Logan settled into a routine. He worked his shifts, hauling cargo. He saw how busy the station could be. Alien merchants talked about humans quietly. Some whispered the word Death Worlder as he walked by. He did not understand it fully, but he knew it had meaning. Aliens looked at humans differently, some with fear, some with respect. At night, the scratching in the walls continued. Sometimes it was soft, almost like breathing. Sometimes it was loud, like metal scraping. Logan asked Maya about it. She said, "Old station. Noises happen." She did not look worried, but he noticed she tightened her hands briefly. One evening, the lights flickered. A low alarm tone sounded for a few seconds, then stopped. Logan froze. He looked at Maya. She checked her device quickly, writing something down. When he asked what it was, she smiled and said, "Nothing to worry about." Logan tried to believe her. He told himself he was overthinking. The room was small, but warm. Maya was polite, friendly even. Maybe the cheap room was just lucky, yet he could not shake the feeling that something was unusual. The quiet way Maya watched the door, the strange noises in the walls, the sudden alarms that no one seemed to take seriously, all of it made him uneasy. That night, he lay awake, listening to the station hum and the faint scratching behind his bed. He stared at the small device on Maya's desk, glowing faintly. He wondered what she was really doing. He wondered what kind of life he had walked into. He closed his eyes, trying to sleep. Tomorrow, he would go to work again. Tomorrow, he would try to ignore the strange things. But deep down, he knew this cheap room and his calm roommate were not normal. Something about the place felt alive in a way he could not explain. And somewhere in the walls, something was moving. Logan woke early again. The station lights were soft at this hour. Few people walked in the corridors. He liked the quiet. It made the station feel less huge, less strange. He packed his small bag and checked the listing again. The cheap room was still marked as available, but he knew it was filled. He wondered how Maya had gotten it first. When he returned to the room, Maya was already up. She stood near the window, looking at the distant viewports. The station stretched endlessly. Tiny ships glided like fireflies between towers of metal. She turned when she saw him. "Good morning," she said. Her voice was calm, but Logan noticed a sharpness in her eyes. She seemed to be measuring everything, even him. "Good morning," Logan replied. He placed his bag on the floor and sat on the edge of the bed. He wanted to ask more about her job, but he was not sure how much he could say. "Did you sleep well?" she asked. Her gaze was steady. "Not really. The walls, they make noises," he said quietly. He did not want to sound afraid. Maya nodded. "Old stations have many noises. The structure shifts, metal cools, pipes work. You will get used to it." She did not mention the faint scratching he had heard. Logan wondered if she knew more than she was saying. He went to work. The cargo decks were busy. He hauled boxes and crates for alien merchants. Some looked at him strangely. Some whispered words he did not understand. He heard the word Deathworlder a few times. He had asked once at the station market what it meant. A trader only shook his head and smiled. Humans were strange, he was told. Dangerous. Maybe. Back in the room that evening, Logan noticed Maya was doing something unusual. She pulled a small device from her bag. It was shaped like a thin tablet, with lights along the edges. She held it near the wall and moved it slowly. The screen showed strange patterns. Lines of light moved across it, and tiny blips appeared. Logan could not hide his curiosity. "What is that?" he asked. Maya did not look up. "Just checking the walls," she said. Her tone was casual, but he noticed her fingers moved fast and carefully. She typed something, paused, then tapped a small button. The device beeped softly. Logan sat down, trying not to stare too much. He wanted to ask more, but she returned to her seat as if nothing had happened. He wondered why she did not want to tell him. Over the next few days, the noises in the walls got louder. Sometimes it sounded like soft scraping. Sometimes it was heavier, like metal rubbing against metal. One night, Logan woke to a strange sound. The wall behind his bed bulged slightly, as if it had grown. He gasped and touched it. It was hard, cold. Maya was awake too. She had heard it. She did not panic. Instead, she grabbed her device again. The screen glowed softly in the dark. She scanned the wall. Her face grew serious. Logan could see her jaw tighten. "Logan," she said quietly, "I need you to stay calm. Do not tell anyone about this. Do not move anything in the room. Understand?" Logan nodded quickly. Okay. What is it?" he asked, his voice trembling. Maya sighed. She looked at him and finally said, "You are not supposed to know this. But I will tell you a little. The cheap room was chosen for a reason. We are near something inside the station walls. Something dangerous." Logan stared at her. "Dangerous? What kind of?" "We do not know exactly," Maya said. "It is alive, or it was alive. It is growing. It can move inside the station structure. It has damaged some systems already. That is why I am here. I am part of a human team that watches these things." Logan felt a chill. "Human team?" he asked. Maya nodded. "Humans are called Deathworlders. It is a name aliens use for us. Our homeworld is dangerous. We survive there because we learn to deal with things that others cannot. That is why we handle threats like this." Logan swallowed hard. He had never thought of humans that way. He only knew himself as a simple worker. He felt small, almost useless. "What will happen if it comes into our room?" he asked. His voice was low. Maya did not lie. "We do not have time to run. If it breaks through, we may have to fight it directly. That is why I have my device. It scans. It tracks. It gives us a chance." Logan looked at the wall. It seemed normal again. The bulge was gone. But he could feel the station hum differently. He realized something was moving inside. Alive. Learning. Maybe even thinking. The next day, Logan tried to act normal. He went to work, hauled crates, and watched aliens move past him. He saw the fear and respect in some eyes when they looked at humans. He wondered if he would ever understand why. After work, he returned to the room. Maya was waiting. She handed him a small pack with food and some simple tools. "Take this," she said. "If anything happens, it might help." Logan opened the pack. Inside were small lights, a handheld scanner, and a few compact energy packs. He looked at Maya, unsure. "Just be careful," she said. "I will guide you, but most of the work will be mine. You only assist." That night, the scratching in the walls was worse. Logan stayed awake, listening. It sounded like something was stretching metal inside. The sound moved slowly along the wall, then stopped. He felt the vibration through the floor. Maya checked her device again. "It is stronger than before," she said quietly. "It may be feeding on station systems." Logan did not know what to say. He felt both fear and awe. The station was alive with something he could not see. And Maya, she was calm, in control, like she had done this before. He tried to sleep but could not. He watched her work. She tapped buttons, moved her fingers across the screen, and recorded notes. Logan realized she was not just observing. She was planning. She was ready for something to happen. The next morning, Logan asked more questions. "Why are humans the only ones handling this?" he asked. Maya looked at him, her expression serious. "Aliens are not used to death world conditions. They panic or fail when a threat moves fast. Humans survive dangerous worlds every day. That is why we handle these things. It is not about being stronger. It is about knowing how to think, how to act." Logan nodded slowly. He understood a little. Humans were different. Not just because of strength, but because of skill, experience, and courage. That evening, Logan saw another sign of the thing behind the walls. A small section of metal in the corner moved slightly, like it was breathing. A faint light glowed inside the crack. He froze. Maya noticed immediately. She activated her device. Small drones flew from it, moving into the wall cracks. Lights scanned the area. She tapped commands. The drones measured, recorded, and transmitted data to her device. Logan watched. He felt both frightened and amazed. The cheap room he had thought was lucky was really a front, a hidden observation point. He had been chosen, without knowing, to live near danger. Maya turned to him. "Logan, you will help me, but mostly you watch and learn. Stay close. Stay calm. If anything happens, do exactly as I say." Logan swallowed. He nodded. He realized he had no choice. He had stumbled into something much bigger than himself. Over the next few days, they watched and waited. The noises in the walls became a pattern. The creature, or whatever it was, moved slowly, testing the station. It made small power failures, interrupted sensors, and left faint marks on the metal walls. Logan learned to recognize the signs. When a hum changed, or a vibration ran along the floor, he knew the thing was nearby. Maya guided him quietly, showing him how to stay alert without panicking. One night, the hum changed sharply. Logan's heart raced. He glanced at Maya. She checked her device, then looked at him. Her eyes were serious, but calm. "It is moving faster now," she said. "We may not have much time before it breaks through into occupied areas." Logan felt fear spike. He had never faced anything like this. He had never imagined that a simple, cheap room could hold such danger. Maya tapped her device one last time for the night. "Sleep if you can," she said. "Rest is important. Tomorrow will be harder, but we can handle it." Logan lay down, trying to rest, but he could hear the faint scraping in the walls. He imagined the creature moving slowly, learning, growing, watching. The cheap room, the strange roommate, the hidden danger, they were only the beginning, and he realized, for the first time, that he was no longer just a cargo worker. He was part of something bigger, something dangerous, something that would test him in ways he had never imagined. The station hummed. Lights flickered softly, and behind the walls, the unknown creature waited. Logan closed his eyes, listening, learning, and preparing for whatever would come next. Logan woke to the soft hum of the station. He felt tired, but he also felt a strange excitement. Yesterday, Maya had warned him the creature in the walls was growing faster. Today, he would see more of what humans could do. He packed his bag and left the room. The corridors of Aurora Ring were busy now. Traders shouted prices, aliens walked quickly, and small service drones zipped along the rails. Logan tried to act normal, but he could feel the tension in the air. The station was uneasy. He returned to the room later in the day. Maya was waiting. She held her device, and the small drones hovered near the walls. She did not smile. Her face was serious. "Logan," she said quietly, "we may get help today. Humans from Earth are on their way. They know how to handle this." Quote, ATAC, quote. Logan's eyes widened. "Humans? More humans?" Maya nodded. "Yes, a small team. They will arrive soon. They are trained for these situations. We will not have to fight alone." Logan felt a mixture of relief and fear. He had never met a human team before. He wondered what they would look like, how they would act, and if he could keep up with them. That night, the noises in the walls became stronger. Scratching, scraping, faint metallic cracking. Logan watched Maya work. She tapped her device, sending tiny drones into the walls. Lights scanned the hidden structure, and small readings appeared on the screen. "It is learning," Maya said softly. "It studies patterns, power lines, and sensors. It is dangerous because it adapts." Logan swallowed. He had never faced anything that could think and learn like this. Suddenly, the hum changed sharply. The drones detected movement. A section of the wall near the corridor bulged outward. Logan jumped back. The wall moved as if breathing. Small cracks formed along the metal plates. Maya moved quickly. She tapped commands on her device. "Stay calm. It is testing the barriers. It wants to find weak spots." Logan nodded. His hands shook slightly. He had no training, only instructions. Maya activated a small panel near the bed. Lights flashed, and a low hum emitted from it. The device projected a force field into the wall cracks. The bulges slowed. The wall stopped moving. Logan felt awe. Maya was calm, precise, and fearless. He realized she had done this many times before. She was not just observing. She was ready to fight. The next day, a small ship docked secretly at the station. Logan saw it from a distance. It was human, small, and armored. It moved quietly among the larger alien ships. A ramp lowered, and a team of humans disembarked. Logan watched as they moved with purpose. One was tall and quiet, with sharp eyes. Another carried a pack of tools and scanning devices. A third moved carefully, checking the area as if it were a dangerous forest. They were calm, controlled, and confident. Maya met them in a private corridor. She spoke with them in low tones. Logan could not hear everything, but he noticed the humans listened carefully and nodded. They respected her. The aliens in the station gave way as the humans moved. Logan heard whispers. Some aliens stepped aside, clearly nervous. One trader muttered, "Humans. Deathworlders. They know danger." Logan felt pride and fear. He was a human too, but he had never seen humans act like this. They were not afraid. They moved toward danger, not away from it. Maya returned to Logan. "They will help us contain the threat," she said. "You will stay with me and assist. Your task is simple, but important. Watch for signs, follow instructions, and stay calm." Logan nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility. He was scared, but he also felt ready. He wanted to help. That evening, the station began to report small problems. Lights flickered in distant corridors. Some sensors failed. Cleaning drones disappeared. Whispers spread among the aliens. The creature in the walls was moving faster. It was testing the station, probing for weak spots. Maya checked her device. "It is feeding on the station systems," she said. "It learns quickly. We must act soon. The human team will coordinate a plan, but we need to keep it contained until they arrive fully. Logan helped her set up small barriers and monitor the wall movements. He followed her instructions carefully. When the hum changed, he signaled her. When cracks appeared, he helped deploy small lights and alarms. He felt useful for the first time in his life. The next day, the human team held a briefing. Logan watched from a distance. The tall leader spoke clearly and calmly. The team moved with efficiency. Drones were deployed, scanners checked the walls, and plans were drawn on holographic panels. Logan could see how aliens reacted. Many watched from a distance, whispering among themselves. They were afraid and amazed. Humans moved like predators in a controlled hunt, not like workers or traders. Maya joined the team. Logan followed behind her. She moved with confidence. He noticed how the other humans treated her with respect. She gave instructions, checked devices, and monitored drones. She was a leader, but calm and precise. Logan felt small, but inspired. He realized that humans were not just strong or brave. They had knowledge, skill, and experience. They thought differently, moved differently, and faced danger without hesitation. That night, the creature made a sudden move. A section of the wall near the maintenance corridor bulged outward, violently. Sparks flew. Alarms sounded. Logan's heart raced. He had to stay calm. Maya tapped her device and activated small drones. Lights scanned the cracks. Readings appeared on the screen. The creature was larger than they thought. Maya turned to Logan. "Stay close. Follow my instructions exactly." "Far," Logan nodded. He gripped the small scanner she had given him. His hands shook slightly. The creature moved again, testing the wall. A faint metallic crack echoed through the room. Logan pressed the scanner's button. A small light flashed. The wall bulge slowed. Maya's eyes focused on her device. "Good. Keep it steady. It is learning. But you helped slow it." Logan felt a rush of pride. He had helped, even in a small way. He realized he was no longer just a worker. He was part of the human effort. He was learning to think like a Death Worlder. The creature retreated slightly into the wall. The drones followed, scanning and recording. Maya gave Logan simple instructions. He deployed small barriers, set lights, and kept the scanner steady. Over the next few hours, the human team coordinated. They set traps, monitored movements, and prepared the station for the main action. Logan assisted, following every instruction carefully. He felt a mixture of fear and excitement. This was dangerous, but he felt alive. Maya spoke quietly to him. "You are doing well. Stay focused. Watch the signs. Humans survive by noticing small changes and acting fast. You are learning." Logan nodded. He watched the walls, the sensors, and the drones. He realized that the cheap room he had found was not just a lucky find. It was a training ground. A front line. He had stumbled into something bigger than himself, and he was ready to face it. As the night went on, the creature grew more active. It tested barriers, scraped at metal, and moved in the shadows. Logan stayed close to Maya. He followed her instructions. He helped monitor drones and sensors. He felt the tension of the station, the fear of the aliens, and the calm control of the humans. He understood, finally, why humans were called Death Worlders. They faced danger every day, and they did not hesitate. They thought fast, acted decisively, and adapted quickly. Logan was beginning to see that courage was not just strength. It was knowledge, skill, and awareness. By the end of the night, the human team had mapped part of the creature. They had set small traps and prepared for a larger strike. Logan felt exhausted, but determined. He had survived his first day in the front line. He had helped, learned, and grown. Maya looked at him and smiled briefly. Tomorrow, it will get harder. But humans survive. And now, you will see what we can do together. Logan nodded. He felt a mix of fear, pride, and anticipation. The cheap room, the strange roommate, and the hidden creature had changed everything. He was no longer just a visitor. He was part of the human effort, and he was beginning to understand the power of Deathworlders. Outside, the station hummed. Lights flickered softly. The corridors were quiet, but tense. The alien residents whispered about humans and the strange events. They were afraid, amazed, and curious. Inside the room, Logan and Maya prepared for what would come next. The creature was out there, growing and learning. But humans were ready. And Logan, for the first time, felt ready too. He closed his eyes briefly, listening to the soft hum of the station and the faint sounds in the walls. He felt fear. Yes, but also determination. He was part of something bigger now. He was learning to face danger, to act fast, and to survive. And he knew that tomorrow, the real challenge would begin.